guys, it's Slick, and we're going to take a time out from the reviews today. I'm just going to give you some tips on how to make the most of your new Galaxy Note device. So the first thing you want to do is you want to prepare for disaster. Okay, sometimes the device, you leave it on a table, somebody takes it out of your bag, something like that. A lot can happen to your phone, right? So what you want to do is make sure you're ready so you're not panicking and it's gone forever. So we want to make sure we take some steps to mitigate that, alright? So the first thing you want to do is get some sort of tracking app on your phone. There's Android Device Manager, there's a lot of good ones out there. Me personally, I like Pray, mostly because it's cross-platform. I've got a bunch of my gadgets on the same app. What you want to do is find your Play Store. P-R-E-Y. Alright, so give that a download, okay? As soon as that pops up, now where'd I put it? There it is. So for you, it'll have some first time setup. I'm going to go ahead and log into mine here. And there we go. So it'll bring you to sort of a dashboard screen. So as you can see, I've got an iPad, my Tab S, and my phone. The free account only lets you have 3 gizmos on here, okay? So if you got more than that, you can pay for one of their subscriptions. I'm not going to go into all that. You can explore it for yourself. So what you can do is on one of your other devices, right? So I usually have my Tab with me if I'm out and about going to work, something like that. So if I misplace my phone, left it at my desk at work or something, I could, on my Tab, pull up this screen. Okay, let's just say I forgot my Tab somewhere. Okay, just for illustration. So what you can do is you can set it to missing, which will lock it. It'll put a message up on the screen. It'll do a lot of things. It'll say, hey, this thing's worthless, just call me, basically, right? And you can see all sorts of stuff. You can check out the specs on your gizmo if you need to know that. But the best thing is, when you go in here, Map and Actions, I'm not going to tap that, but what it does is it pulls up a map if your device is connected. So if it's cellular, awesome, you're always going to have that connection. But with a Wi-Fi device like my Tab is, it's only going to connect, obviously, if it's connected to the internet. So you can tap Map and see exactly where it's at. I'm not going to do that because I don't need y'all creeping on me. So, that's Pray, really in a nutshell. This isn't a review for Pray, so we're not going to go too in-depth about it. You can check it out for yourself, but get some sort of app on there so that you can lock your shit down if you lose it and somebody doesn't get a free phone out of it. At least make it a little harder, alright? Second thing for security, what you want to do is make sure you have some sort of password recovery. Your phone is tied to a Gmail. It has to be, alright? So if you get locked out of it, what can happen, or you know, if you forget your Gmail password, you're fucked. So the Google account is the key to the phone. So make sure you're able to recover it or reset it if you need to. And you can go to Google's account recovery options through a web browser to check that out. Put in your phone number, an alternate email, not your Gmail, guys, and you can set yourself up that way. The other thing you want to do is just secure your damn lock screen. I know you fuckers are lazy. I know that. But it's too easy. You have too much crap on here. I've got a finance app with all sorts of shit in there. Okay? I don't need somebody just to be able to swipe into my phone. So on the newer Samsungs, they've got a fingerprint sensor in the home button. That works, okay. Good enough, alright? I will give Apple that. They do that better than Samsung's current offerings. But it's good enough. But do the pattern, a PIN, a password, something. Alright? So the pattern lock's good for most people. You can set something easy, but don't do something like an L, or you can Google like something like the easiest Android pins, or not pins, patterns. People use the same ones and thieves know it. So think of something a little more, you know, complex that you can do. You do it a couple times, you're going to remember it, so don't worry about it. Just lock your shit down, alright? Also, what you can do is if you go into your settings, you can just grab your phone and follow along with me. We'll just do it while you're here. So go to screen lock, and mine's locked down with the fingerprint, so I'll open it up there. First try, you know, usually it is. So swipe, stay the fuck away from that. Pattern with your dots, pin, password, I wouldn't really want to do password myself, but you might have to if you have like a corporate email or something on there. Usually those are the people that need password. And then fingerprint, or fuck, none. That shouldn't even be an option. So pick one of those, set it up, get your shit locked down. What you want to do then is secured lock time. So mine is 5 minutes because honestly, I don't need to fingerprint it every single time. If I saw the phone 30 seconds ago, chances are it's fine, you know what I mean? So I've got mine to 5 minutes. You know, if I walk away from it for 5 minutes, that could be long enough that I forgot it somewhere. That's kind of what I decided for myself. You pick what works for you. But pick something, guys, okay? The other thing you want to do is show information, and we're still in the lock screen, okay? And what you want to do is owner information, and it's right here, but I've got my personal email there, and I don't need y'all blowing me up, and it's in this screen, alright? So give that a tap, put in your email, and then on the lock screen, people can at least see, okay, you know, I'm just going to email this guy from my smartphone, and we can hook up and get his phone back to him, alright? The second thing you want to do with your brand new Note is you want to set your apps to update on their own, or at least get them updated. Because if you're watching this video and you just got your phone, chances are the apps that are pre-installed on there, thank you Samsung, are months old already. Because these phones were built, it's March now, probably about a year ago, getting pretty close. So if you just pick one of these phones up, congratulations. But you got some homework. So head into the not the Play Store, the Play Store. What we need to do is go down to settings, and this is one option that you want to check out, auto update apps. So do not auto update. You can do that if you want at any time. Now I would not do that because chances are you're like most of us with a capped data plan, and this is going to update apps no matter what. I wouldn't do that unless you're still on some old unlimited plan, but chances are that's not all it's cracked up to be anyway, but that's a whole different video. So most people, you want to do auto update apps over Wi-Fi only. And that'll mean anytime you're on a Wi-Fi spot, your phone's just going to kick on, it's going to start updating apps in the background, you never even have to worry about it, okay? Which is what I like. I've got the latest version all the time. Third thing you need to do as a new Galaxy Note owner is get rid of Flipboard. Unless you dig it, okay? Now what Flipboard is from your main home screen, right? Because you got your little house down here, right? From there, if you swipe to the left, normally, you get Flipboard, which is, you can give it, you know, tell it I like technology, I like business news, crap like that, and it'll kind of bring you some stuff to read. I never used it. I tried it for, you know, the first month or two that I had this phone. Personally, I would just rather go into my news apps and read what I want to read. You know, if I want some techie news, I'll go to Android Central, hit them up, or check out the other news sources, right? So, for me, I never really use Flipboard. If you disable it, it can speed up your phone just a touch. I mean, it's not too noticeable, but it's just one less thing that the phone's doing all the time. What you want to do to remove it is pinch from your home screen, right? Which is a good thing to know because then you can alter all your different little home screens, right? To your widgets and all that shit. Home screen settings. While we're in here, transition effect, go to none if you want speed. The less things it's doing, the better. If you're like me, you like performance. That's a personal preference. I just thought as long as we're here. Uncheck Flipboard briefing. Now again, check out this briefing thing. Like I said, it's to the left. If you dig it, fine. I'm not going to knock you for it. But most of us just find it slow, buggy. It's not really customizable. It's just kind of a fuckfest. Alright? I wish Samsung would just get rid of it, but until they do, they at least let us disable it. So go ahead and do that. Okay guys, fourth thing you want to do on your brand new Galaxy Note, either 4 or Edge, is customize your home screens, alright? That's one of the glories about Android, is that we're not tied down to what Tim Cook wants us to have on our phones, right? You know, no thank you, I don't want your Fisher-Price phone. I'd rather have an adult's phone. So one of the great things about Android is you can customize all of these screens exactly how you want it. Widgets, apps, backgrounds, whatever the fuck, okay? So do that. Take a couple minutes. You're probably sitting at home. You got a drink. You're playing with your new shit. You're on YouTube trying to figure this thing out. So just go ahead and do that. At least how I've got mine, and most people I think probably are similar. Your main home screen, as signified by the house, is where you press the home button and that's where you go. So most people, I think, you know, have some sort of clock, maybe some weather. And then I've got one of these gizmos, it's called Cronus. That gives you all sorts of useless info right here. And from there, you put whatever you want, okay? So I put a Google bar down at the bottom, and then some Get Her Done apps, and then some media. You know, your Netflix, all that stuff. And that's, for me, what I find that I want on home screens. I don't want too many of them. I only have 4. Everything else gets hidden here, so I'm kind of organized with my shit. I don't want a lot of clutter, but it's your phone. You do what you want with it, okay? So pause this video, take a couple minutes. If you got a Note 4, obviously I've got the Edge, you've got a dock right here. Now you can put whatever you want there. Grab one of those icons, tap and hold, and you can move it out of there. You can also put folders there. So if you tap and hold an app, and drag it on top of another one, it's going to create a folder. So you can organize your stuff however you want, and then you can press and hold on that folder and move it down into your dock. So what a lot of people do is they'll put like messaging. I've got a similar deal on the Edge, which is where our dock is on this phone, where, bam, I've got a bunch of the ones that I need to see all the time, right? Little plug, this one's called Show of Hands. If you like talking about useless crap. There's a lot of polls, a lot of political stuff. If you dig that kind of stuff, download that. Follow me. I'm going to throw up my my little profile right there. This is a shameless plug. Go ahead and follow me on there. So anyway, guys, like I said, pause this, take a minute, you know, really get your apps how you like, and then come on back. We just got a couple more things that you should really do with this brand new phone. Okay guys, so now that you're finishing up messing with your home screens, just a tip from me personally. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just me. If you like it, do it. If not, just sit tight because this will only take a second. So the Note is all about the S Pen. If you didn't dig the S Pen, I mean, maybe you like the big screen, but you'd probably just get the S5 or the S6 that just came out, right? So if you dig the S Pen, and that's this little gizmo hiding down there for the uninitiated, you pull that out, and you can do all sorts of crap with this, okay? So as soon as you pull it out, by default, you get this little pie there with a bunch of options. We're not going to get into that. This is just your first setup video, but go ahead and explore those. And this is a cursor, this is a writing instrument, this is all sorts of stuff, right? And if you're like me, you use this device and this pen to take notes all day long. I do it all day, guys. So what I like to do is write to the left of the home screen, because again, we got rid of Flipboard if you were smart, and this is just another home screen. S-Note has a widget, and this is what I've dedicated this page to. So I've got my action memos, which are basically your post-it pad. So you can jot down little notes. If you tap this menu, play around with this, with all the options that it gives you, and those will hide there. And then also you've got all of your S-Note books. And how to get that is on a blank page, and to get one of those, again, we're going to pinch out, and all the way to the right you can add a page. So go ahead and add one, come back to an empty one, and again, if you press and hold, I know I'm jumping around a lot, guys, but you can move these around to wherever you like. So go down to widgets, again on an empty screen, and find S-Note. Tap. They have a little one, you know, if you want to use that on a productivity page or something. I used to use that until I developed this method. Use the 4x2, so press and hold, and mine's already got one, so it might freak out. No? Okay. And then just drop that there. I'm going to put mine in the trash because I already have one. And then you've got that. So that's a nice little page that right from the home screen, right to the left, you've got your S-Note. Everything ready to rock, right? So that's what I like to do with the S-Note function. You can, like I said, go ahead and do whatever you want. Okay, number 5. The fifth thing you want to do is OK Google. If you haven't been using Android's voice commands, you've really been missing out on one of its best features. So like many devices, you can set up your Galaxy Note 4 to respond to OK Google, instantly launching a Google search with Google Now. And I'm saying it all funny because I don't want my phone to trigger right now. This is kind of an old feature, but it's great. It's really been refined a lot, and this is what I use instead of S-Voice. And you can set it up to where it hears your command from every screen, even the lock screen. So to set this up, go into your settings. You want to find language and input under the System tab. And then you want to find voice search, OK Google detection, and mine's already set up, but you'll see a train voice model here. And go ahead and check all of these on. And then it'll have you say OK Google a bunch of times, and it'll tap into how you say it. I recommend saying it just a touch differently each time, because what I've found is if you say it the exact same way, you're kind of missing the point. It has you do it several times so it can hear you say it differently. So say it like one time when you're stressed out because you're trying to find something, calm, something like that. Just train it. This lets you get into the world of Google and you can ask it anything. So let's see if I can get mine to do it. Okay, Google, what is the weather like in London?
Today's forecast for London is 50 degrees and clear.
God, I wish. Okay, so anyway, that's what you can do. You can even do it from the lock screen. Let's see if mine will do it. Okay, Google. How tall is the Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel Tower is 986 feet tall.
There's some useless information for you guys. So, yeah, that's Google. I recommend using it. I haven't used S-Voice in quite some time. Okay, guys, number 6, your S Pen. The real utility of this phone, right? You do not want to lose this little bugger. They cost, I think, $30 to get a new one from Samsung. So you don't want to lose it, and I'm going to teach you how to at least mitigate that, okay? So what we want to do is go into Settings, again, find S Pen. You don't need your pen to do it, I'm just using mine. S Pen Alerts, give that a check. So what that does is it sets your phone to sound alert and show a pop-up if your phone moves away from your S Pen. And it functions only when the screen is off. So the idea is, you're at Starbucks, you set your pen down, you locked your phone, you put it in your pocket, and the point of locking the phone is, that's really when this would happen, right? Because you're going to lock it, put it in your pocket, and walk away. So if the screen's on, this isn't necessarily going to work. Okay guys, number 7. So what you want to do is optimize your access to your quick settings. This is another great tool that Android has had for years that Apple has kind of brought kind of a bullshit attempt at it, okay? They can swipe up from the bottom and do their flashlight and all that bullshit, okay? This is the real deal. So what this is if you drag down your notifications, you've got some quick settings here. You can toggle your Wi-Fi, your GPS radios, NFC, all that stuff right from the notification screen. Now there's much more than these 10. Okay, if you press this little window, you get a bunch of all these little options that, again, you can access from here. But if you don't like the ones that are stock right here, you hit this pencil, and you can drag whatever you like there. This is the setup that I use. I personally feel this would work best for most people, but again, that's just me. What I've got going on is ultra power saving mode. If you haven't checked that out, definitely give that a try. Your Wi-Fi, your GPS, Bluetooth, NFC, screen rotation, blocking mode, which is kind of like do not disturb, multi-window, private mode where you can hide a bunch of stuff, and airplane mode. So the ones on the bottom, I don't really feel like people would use most of the time. Maybe sound, but that's what your volume rocker's for. So, like I said, I feel like this setup would probably work for most folks. Another improvement you want to make to your settings is, like mine, have it as one long list. Again, this is a preference but I feel most people would probably like this more. By default, you've got some tabs up here, and probably up until this point in the video, you've been trying to follow along while I've been swiping, right? Sorry about that, guys. But what you want to do to get to this list is from the settings menu, tap these three dots. View as, tab, which is what you've probably got right now if you're fresh out of the box, or list. Again, just a preference, but pick what you like. Okay, number 9 is we're going to speed up our performance, and I've made a short video that you may be seeing off to the right in the related videos, but we're going to touch on it real quick right here. Samsung is notorious for TouchWiz. I hate it. Obviously, I'm rocking it here because the Edge, to use the Edge, you kind of have to have TouchWiz enabled, and I've kind of learned to deal with that. With these devices, you can either have appearance or you can have performance, and there's really, I mean, of course there's middle ground, but you've really got to pick what camp you want. If you want your live wallpapers and you want your cool transitions and, you know, some launchers, and I used to, on my Note 3, I had all sorts of 3D shit and all that. You don't really need all that, guys. So if you're like me and you just want your phone as a tool, as a utility device, pay attention. So what we're going to do is go into settings, go all the way down to about device, go to build number, give this a tap a bunch of times until it says you are a developer, and then you'll see developer options. So go into there, click on up in the corner, scroll down a little bit, you'll see window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animator duration scale. What these three are all those little tiny animations in between pressing the home button and going to a new app. You'll see the little window kind of fade in and out. That's what this is. So if you tap into each one of these and turn all of them off, all three, what you'll do is, as you can see, by going into different screens, there's no animation, it's just straight to that screen. Because the phone doesn't have to do all that now. You press your home button, bam, instant. And this will keep your phone, you know, because they bog down after a while, just like computers. This will keep it running like this for a lot longer, especially if you have a good task killer and everything else. By getting rid of those animations, it's less that the phone has to put up with, and then by extension, less you have to put up with. Now, number 10 is you can play with your battery life. Now, this one's a little bit controversial. I don't even follow it, you know, really to the letter. But it is a tip. If you're kind of a road warrior and you're always out and about and you need to squeeze the most battery you can out of this thing, then pay attention. Up in your quick settings, wherever you put it, you'll see power saving mode. Whenever you're going to put your phone away for an extended period of time, you know, an hour, 2 hours, something like that, go ahead and turn on power saving. And that brings down the powerhouse. It just puts it in kind of cruise control. Just doing that will extend your battery life. Also with that, I would recommend turning off all these little radios if you don't need them. If you're not using a Bluetooth headset or the Gear or something like that, turn Bluetooth off. If you don't even know what NFC is, turn it off. You know, stuff like that. Sync, you need that for background data and stuff like that, but really, you know, smart stay and touch sensitivity, all those little things make the phone work harder. So just turn them off. So guys, from there, I mean, head into the Play Store here and download all your cool apps. I'll make another separate video with my favorite apps, you know, kind of, you know, a part 2 to this if you want to get a little more in depth on setting up your phone. But from here, that's really the basics that you need to do to get your brand new Note set up for success, okay? And again, this was all just my opinion. Of course, nothing says you have to do any of this. It's just my experience. I had the Note 3, now I have the Note Edge. I'm a Note fan. And this is what I've found to really make these devices so you can get the most out of them. Because these are expensive fucking computers that make phone calls that you carry with you all day. So you may as well get the most out of them. Okay guys, so that's the end of this video. I know it got a little bit long, but I really wanted to get in depth for those who don't necessarily know how to tweak these things and really get the most out of them and get them all set up. So congratulations, you bought an awesome device. I promise you, the kid at the phone store was not bullshitting you. So that's what it is. Look again for my other videos. I'll see you guys around.